Mad Queen. Welcome into the Queen's Lair. If you didn't know, there were a few new heroes that were just released into the game in the last patch, which happened, well, really not that long ago from the time I'm recording this video. But the new heroes are Vengeful Hassel. In limited summons, you can get Gavin, and there are a couple new epics as well. The game, or the developers, has actually decided to start giving the content creators for Awaken Chaosera copies of all of the new heroes, which I am so happy for. We don't get to keep them forever. They're not permanent. We get to keep them for 14 days and test them. And then after that, they just kind of disappear. So we will not get to keep them forever. Hopefully nobody is salty or shady about this. This is a really big step in the right direction for the game. We don't have a test server, which would be extremely helpful, but I would say this is the next best thing. So we have Vengeful Hassel, Gavin, and then we have Royce and Phyllida. I don't know. So we have a fire element epic, a light element epic, a fire legendary, and a dark legendary, Vengeful Hassel. I think he looks really cool. And whenever you look here, it kind of looks like maybe he killed Zitlin down here. I don't know. These kind of look like Zitlin's heads on his whatever these things are. I don't know. Sword things on his shoulders. But I am going to see, hopefully I have enough resources to get all these guys to 60. They do not give us any of the resources, unfortunately, to level them. So if you kind of don't have that as a content creator, then you're just going to be kind of SOL. But I am going to go ahead and choose to level up these two guys first, both of the legendaries. And hopefully, if I have enough resources after that, then I'll do both of the epics and just kind of see how far we can go. I'll be right back. I'm not going to watch you guys or make you guys watch me do all of that. Okay, quickly, I want to point this out. I noticed as I was going through and doing abilities, I was like, man, I'm lucky because I never get any dark heroes, so I should have enough to do all of his abilities. But it just kept going, and I was like, what? Because as you know, all of the heroes usually have only, it's like 8 or 9 ability upgrades. I can't remember exactly. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 just normal general ability upgrades here, which is, I mean, that's a lot. That's really high. And I'm actually pretty excited to see that. I wish that it was like that for more heroes. They shouldn't all be the same. Some heroes should be better than other heroes. They should have more options, more upgrades. And especially, honestly, I know it sucks. And coming from me, I only have 3 light dark heroes. I'm happy I can finally say that now. It was 2 for way over a year. But I only have, I have Dark Nick, Urian, and Bran the Brilliant. I think because the chances of actually summoning light dark heroes is so hard that these heroes really should be much better than all of the other heroes in the game. And that goes for not just legendaries, but also the epics that are light dark. You don't actually see that often, and I'm hoping that with all of this is a good sign that he is decent. Let's just hope that if you do try to spend money to get this guy, that they don't do a nerf afterwards, because unfortunately that seems to be a common thing that they like to do. hopefully we're getting away from that trend, but keep that in mind before you make a decision one way or another to purchase into buying the hero. But again, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I was able to get Vengeful Hassel to level 60 and Gavin, but I did not get Royce and the other new chick to level 60. I also was able to go ahead and finish all of this guy's glyphs, and I was able to finish all of Gavin's too, but for the abilities, I couldn't get all of those done. So this is going to be more of a first look. I was hoping to add in a bit of gameplay with these guys into the first look, but unfortunately, I didn't want to really show any gameplay of these guys until I had their basics completed, where I have at least all of their abilities done. Before this 13-day timer runs out here, I will try to get all of them to level 60 fully glyphed and all of their abilities done, and also try to do a bit more gameplay based content with them before all of this, before it goes away. So for now, we're going to look at all of their abilities, their traits, their base stats, and make some predictions, talk about what we think, and just make it like any other first look video. I already did talk a bit about Vengeful Hassel here and how he looked, and it looks like he slayed Zitlin. I don't know how else to put it, but he's got these interesting, like, sword horn things coming off of him. It looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. He's also got some, like, dark flames coming out of his eyes. That's cool. I think aesthetically he is really nice looking. I like the normal Hassel. I hope that this guy is able to kind of play off of normal Hassel, but be even better, which is kind of what you'd look for if you're going to come out with a second version of a hero that's already released, in my opinion. And I don't know what any of these guys do. This is truly a first look. So Iron Will is his trait. At the start of each round, he gains 15% bonus damage reduction and 35% bonus resistance for each ally alive. Attacks deal bonus damage according to this hero's max health. I don't even have to read anything else, and I can tell you this guy is going to be a monster in arena defense. He is going to be a monster, absolute monster. Okay, but anyways, we will keep reading. After you get his Ascension, which I'm assuming is it going to be on trait 2? Okay, it is on trait 2. Usually it is trait 2 with light darks, and it's 5 with normal legendary heroes. But after you get his Ascension, or you reach it, at the start of each round, you gain a 15% bonus damage reduction and 35% bonus resistance for each ally alive. Attacks deal bonus damage according to this hero's max health. That was all the same. But then, upon receiving fatal damage, he gains damage immunity for the turn up to 1 time per battle. So it really could make a huge difference, especially if you have a healer on your team, someone like Mythasia. I think that if you paired these two together, first of all, he's going to keep himself from dying 1 time, and then your Mythasia should be able to bring him back, which is really, really, really nice. So his first ability, Hammer of Vengeance. Basic, deals 50% damage to 1 enemy with a 50% chance to launch a bonus attack that ignores 80% of the enemy's defense. Trigger chance is increased to 100% if the enemy is a light hero. Okay. And also, look at all these. There are so many levels, like I mentioned before, that you can put into this guy. His passive, Heart of Hatred. When a team member attacks, has a 25% chance to launch a join attack. When a team member is attacked, has a 25% chance to launch a counterattack on the attacker. When an ally is killed, gains a bonus attack equal to 25% of their attack up to 4 turns per battle. So as a passive, this could also be really dangerous. And as I read through this, it just kind of reiterates what I was saying at first from his trait, that he's going to be a monster in PvP defense. His ultimate Ritual of Death deals 80% damage to all enemies, applies death immunity to all team members for 1 turn, and Last Breath of Slain Allies. When an enemy is killed, reduces this ability cooldown by 1 turn. So death immunity, health cannot drop below 1. Okay, so there's only one other hero in the game that has this, that I can think of off the top of my head, and that is Dark Nick. There might be somebody else, but I can't think of who it is off the top of my head. This can get all the way down, as far as abilities, to a 3-turn cooldown, but ultimately can go to a 2-turn cooldown. It is nice because it feels like they're actually listening. We want OP heroes in the game. We want them. We need them. There needs to be heroes that stand out, that are better than other heroes. That's just how it is. Some are not good, and some are pretty good, and some are amazing. You want to have the really, really amazing heroes because you want players to really want to reach for those. I understand that is more of a pay-to-play aspect. I get that. Some people will be lucky to get them. Some people will spend a lot of money and never get them. You know, it all is really just dependent on your luck. But as far as the game goes, it should be like that. There should be heroes that really outdo others. And not only does he have death immunity here, but where's it at? Is it on his first ability or his trait? Oh, on his trait, he's able to give himself death immunity for 1 turn as well. So if you get this guy's trait, killing him is, like, permanently killing him, or just killing him period, is going to be next to impossible, especially if you have someone like Mythasia on the team with him. And you could also, honestly, on a defensive team, I would probably put Vengeful Hassel with Mythasia, Hackrin, and you could look to use a few options as your next one. Maybe you could go with, who am I thinking of? I had it right at the top of my head, and then I totally forgot. But you could look to fill it in with somebody else that can do a bit of damage, or somebody else that's really going to boost him overall. I think if you can put support heroes in with traits that are going to make him tanky, or that are going to give him additional health or defense, plus some healing, maybe some resistance or whatever, this guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I also think outside of the arena defense, he's probably going to be able to be used in the dungeon for farming these abilities, and he might also have some other uses as well. He is honestly pretty exciting, and I could definitely see myself trying to get him, but unfortunately, pretty sure I don't have the money or the resources right now to be able to do that. So it is nice to be able to at least play with him for 2 weeks. Next up is Gavin. Look at him. He does this cool little dance as he comes up. He is a scarecrow with a blade on fire. To me, that's a really interesting combo. You know, one wrong move and this guy is like totally in flames. But Gavin is a legendary fire hero, red element, as we can see here. And I'm going to go ahead and, I didn't look at Vengeful Hassel's base stats. That's my bad. So for his base stats here, his attack is quite low, but that's okay because he's going to do a lot of damage based on his health. His base health is about 6,000. defense 566, 103 speed, 6% crit rate. And do they have him as, they do have him as a support hero, but I think he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. Anyways, enough with him. On to Gavin, finally. The base stats for him are 1200 attack, not great, especially for a legendary hero. 4700 health, that's all right. 474 defense, really low speed, 89 speed, 8% crit rate. On his trait, attacks ignore 30% of the target's defense. The percentage is increased by 10% for every positive effect on this hero, capped at 80%. That's huge. Whenever you get his ascension, which I'm assuming is on the 5th ascension, of course it is. They love to make us pay to get those. Whatever. But whenever you get there, not only is he going to do that, but at the start of the turn, he gains a random stat up for 2 turns for a 1-round cooldown. So he's going to be able to help boost his ignoring defense possibility, which is really nice. Hurricane Thrust, his basic, deals 100% damage to one enemy and gains random attack stats up for 2 turns. So not only is his trait, once ascended, going to give him a positive effect, which is going to take this from 30 to 40%, immediately with his first turn, he's going to get it, and that's going to automatically make this 50% chance of ignoring. Is it a chance or? No, it's just going to be ignores straight up 50% of the target's defense. I will say, for honestly a really long time, I underestimated the value of random stats down and random stats up. That was a big mistake on my part that I realized it can be really, really helpful. The only thing that kind of stinks is, of course, if they're able to get speed up, but here it's saying it's a chance to get attack up, crit damage up, or damage up. So the speed can kind of throw that off. If you have Nathalia and you use her a lot, then you know that. But in general, it's good that that option is not in here. He only has 2 upgrade options into this. His passive, Blade of Carnage. When attacked, if this hero has 2 or more positive effects, he launches a counterattack. Okay, you see what they're doing here? Okay. Launches a counterattack with this ability to deal 80% damage to one enemy. Recovers health equal to 20% of the damage dealt, and duplicates one of the enemy's positive effects on a 1-turn cooldown. Or a 1 round, not 1 turn, 1 round. There's a difference. But once you level him up here, he gets an additional 10% lifesteal. I have still wondered, honestly, this far into the game, why don't we have a lifesteal set in the game? It's been so long. That is one of the most common sets you see in these games, is to have some kind of lifesteal set, and I don't know why we don't have one. Probably because it would be helpful. It would make sense, but you know, it is what it is. So what I was saying about, see what they did here? It looks like Gavin and the new Hassel are gonna synergize with each other with the extra turns here. And then his ultimate, Furious Slam, deals 160% damage to one enemy and gains immune for 2 turns. If the enemy has positive effects or their health is below 50%, he launches a bonus attack with his special ability. This character, when he gets immune, will not be affected by any subsequent negative effects. This can get all the way down to a 3-turn cooldown. So, if you remember from Vengeful Hassel, I think it's this. Yeah, his passive, he is going to get a 25% chance to take a bonus turn off of his ally that takes a turn every time they take one. And this guy is already able to give himself the option to take bonus turns. So those two together could potentially be pretty OP. I will say, I think Gavin might have some usefulness in PvP, but he would also have some usefulness possibly in the guild boss and maybe in some dungeon comps as well. We'll have to see. I'm excited to kind of test them out and see what I can come up with. Next is Royce. He is a light hero. He looks very much like the elite hero that we have in the game. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. Where's he at? I don't have one totally built up. Where's he at, though? This guy. Oh. Vidar, I don't know. That's something else I've been asking for is please release some elite heroes. We don't just need legendary and epics. Give us elite heroes that are viable, that are good. That is going to be another thing that is going to be helpful and fill a bit of the gap for players that can't afford to spend a lot of money and get these new heroes every time they come out. So Royce is a light hero, like I said. Base stats, oh, we can't look at those because I don't have him leveled up. My bad, so we can't look at that, unfortunately. For his Ascension, oh, you do have to go all the way to 5 for this. Let's go ahead and read through these. His trait, Radiant Soul, gains control immunity for the first round in battle. When an ally receives control effects, he immediately gains one bonus turn up to 1 time per battle. Okay. I don't know. It would be nice not to see a cap to this. It would make him OP, I will admit, but he's an epic hero. Although he's a light hero, he is more obtainable to get than the legendary. And he would be pretty OP if this wasn't capped at only 1 time per battle, maybe 1 time per round, but this would tell me he is also going to be really good in arena defense. You would probably want to make him the slowest person on the team, and honestly just try to make him slow, period, to go after the enemy team, because he's not going to be able to get any control effects, and he's going to get a turn when an ally receives a control effect. If this is going to be capped at 1 time per battle, then I would also hope that he would be able to get a bonus turn for each ally that received the control effect. This, what they have now, is just kind of, it's a bit limiting in my opinion, and it could be better. You know, we expect a certain quality out of these heroes when they are light dark, so something to keep in mind. For his Ascension effect, immediately gains 1 bonus turn and applies damage reduction 2 for 1 round to his self and the ally, up to 1. Okay, so when it's saying the ally, it says the ally and ally. How is it going to choose? Is it going to be random? Where, I don't know, because obviously sometimes the wording isn't the best and they don't have the best descriptions here. So this is definitely going to be one where I'm going to have to play and just kind of see what's up with him, how he works, because if all 3 heroes get a control effect on your team, who's he going to pick to give the damage reduction up to? Who is he going to take the 1 turn off of? Yes, taking the 1 turn off of is not as big of a deal as the damage reduction 2, because really, if you want to get the most out of your team, these are things you want to think about minning and maxing. I hope you know what I'm saying, where you basically try to make everything in a very specific order so that it makes your team work in a very specific way. I don't know. Because you could make it to where there's only one member on the team that's able to be controlled, because you could build a specific amount of reduction or resistance into all of the heroes except for the one you would want to get a control effect on. So, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things going here. The kit is pretty, so far, I've only read his trait, is exciting. So his basic ability is Silencing Edge. Deals 90% damage to one enemy with a 60% chance to apply silence to them for 2 turns. Silence means they can only use basic abilities. Okay, let's see the rest of his kit here. Because this could be really good if he's able to do counterattacks. Because, like I said, he won't be... Oh. You could use this on your arena offense team as well. He won't be fast, and this would actually kind of be a counter to those fast arena teams, honestly. If he can actually if you can get him to have some kind of counterattack, then one at a time, he could potentially silence the team, and you could have a go second team. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities here. Sacred Sword. When a team member receives control effects, okay. Randomly removes one control effect on one team member and gains defense up to for 2 turns up to 3 times per battle. So the team member is going to get defense up. I think they should be a bit more specific. I think that's what it's saying, is the team member is going to get the big version of defense up plus 50%. And if this person is somebody that deals damage based on defense, that could be really big. And his ultimate, Tremor Slash, gains bonus defense pierce that scales with the number of control effects on both teams, and deals 120% damage to one enemy. Damage scales with this hero's defense. Okay. So this kit is very, very promising. The only thing is, you would have to have specific heroes to pair with him. Honestly, with most of these heroes, they're not going to be extremely versatile, I guess I should say. You're not going to probably be able to use them in a lot of places, but they look like they're going to be good in very specific places, as long as you have specific heroes to go along with them. How many upgrades do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. None. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And then lastly, we have a fire epic hero, Phyllida. I don't know how to say it. I can't also show you her base stats because I didn't level her up either, unfortunately. Her trait, Volley Fire, applies attack up to all team members for 2 turns, which is on a 5-round cooldown. When she casts the ultimate ability, the trait's ability cooldown is reduced by 1 round. Okay. So plus 30% attack. The Ascension. Okay, so it goes to a 4-turn cooldown instead of 5. And actually, let's take a look. Is it going to be... No, it's on the 5th. The trait's not even that great, to be honest. So I don't know. It frustrates me. I think that legendary heroes should all be second ascension, and epics, honestly, could all be 5 if it was that way, but this trait's not super amazing by any means, in my opinion. Rapid Reload is her passive. When attacking enemies with Ignite, has a 20% chance to reduce the ultimate ability's cooldown by 1 turn. Trigger chance is increased to 100% if the enemy has 4 or more stacks of Ignite. So this already is going to tell us if you have Bachelard, is going to be probably really good to pair with. So Ignite at the start of each turn takes damage based on the applier's attack. This damage can trigger critical strike. Nice. Okay. Ignite can trigger critical strike. Maybe I'm late to the game on this, but I'm curious if this was just a recent buff or something that I missed out on, maybe like the last month or so, or maybe it just happened. I'm not sure. But that's nice that it can actually do critical damage. That's big. But when if the enemy has 4 more stacks, okay. Lastly, the ultimate Heavy Bolt deals 160% damage to one enemy, increases the duration of all Ignite effects on them by 1 turn, and applies Ignite to all enemies for 2 turns. So, as we know, Ignite has been complete garbage since the game has been out. I'm hoping that, honestly, if it's been like this for forever, I'm going to feel so dumb. I can't wrap my head around it. I can't remember. But I'm hoping that with them coming out with more and more Ignite heroes, we're going to see a big boost. Poison does a lot of damage in this game, as we know. And if you don't have Gangelo, honestly, good luck doing Gemini. It would be nice to be able to have Ignite really up there with Poison. Honestly, I would think that getting burned would, I don't know, both of them would equally suck, but I feel like, Ignite, you're getting burned, should do a pretty decent amount of damage. And in other games that have it, it does seem to do more damage than it does in Ace. So, like I said, I can't test her out right now off the top of my head. I think that she is not going to be good in Arena. I don't think she's going to be all that good in the guild boss either, because she's not able to give herself a lot of extra turns. So she's not going to help keep the turn meter of the banker down. And of course, that's what we really want when it comes to doing the guild boss. Not only do we want people that can deal damage, but we want them to be able to keep that turn meter down. She could probably be good in the Tulpa dungeon, and she might also have some other uses in other places as well. I think that we're going to be seeing more and more teams that are viable based around Ignite as well as Bleed, which is really nice. Poison, it's okay to have one be better than all of the rest, but the difference between it is way too huge, and it makes, honestly, they're making it where if you don't have Gangelo, good luck, and I hate that. If you're gonna do that, then put him into the freaking hero synthesis, honestly. But I won't keep rambling and rambling and rambling. I do want to see how many ability upgrades she has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this chance does go up. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so hers are very basic. That's interesting. Are they going to be just doing that on the light dark heroes? I would totally be okay with that, to be honest. But I won't keep rambling. Let me know, have you guys already used any of these heroes? Where have you used them? If you have found any of their best places, go ahead and share that with me. Of course, I would love to know what you guys are doing with the heroes. Join my growing Discord community as well. It has primarily a base of people for Awaken Chaosera. The majority of my community there is for Ace. I have a lot of in-game players in there. So if you're somebody that is looking for some help, for some advice, it's a great place to go. Also, if you know a lot about the game, it's really, really good for you to come and help encourage and help those newer players in the game too. I do try my best to bring in newer players into the community because I want them to really understand and enjoy the game overall. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. The link for my Discord will be in the description as always, and I'll catch you in the next video.